What is the average percentage that roofing companies spend on marketing based on their gross revenue? Is there a rule of thumb from like a business model or plan perspective, or is it just all over the place? And these ads, I think I'm looking at my keyboard. I think he's saying 1 to 3 million. That either he's a $1 to 3 million roofer or just in that context. So for $1 to 3 million roofer, what's the rule of thumb, or is it just all over the place?
So if you're to me, 1 to 3 million bucks, like you've got to be spending 5%. I I think um this year we'll be right around 5%. And I actually looked today. I was actually pleasantly surprised. We're going to hit about the same number we hit last year. So we'll be right about 7 million bucks a year again. I was just happy to get close to last year. Uh, just with as rough of a year as it was. But regardless, um, I think at that point, that early in business, you got to be marketing. You got to be reinvesting in your company, and marketing is the place to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
training and marketing; those are the two things that should be reinvested into. But yeah, 5 to 10 is what Dave Sullivan will tell you, and I don't think he's wrong. Um, I know Dave's listening, so
Yeah.
I
Weigh in,
don't think,
Dave.
yeah, yeah,
Hit us with a chat.
I don't think Dave's wrong. Especially at that point. Now, as you grow, as you scale, if you're doing $20 million a year, there was a company, Apple Roofing. They were a really big company doing a lot of really good things. And I listened to a podcast they did, and I think he was, if I remember right, like 0.6% of revenue was his marketing budget. But he was also doing, I don't know what it was, 20 or 40 million bucks a year. It was a ton. So I mean, he was still spending, $1 million a year in marketing. So I mean, that's a ton. So the bigger you get, I think that percentage shrinks some, but you're also getting that much bigger. And if you're good, you're getting that much bigger with that many more referrals. So your referral program is obviously expanding as you grow. Um, so you can decrease some on your marketing spend. But yeah,
Yeah.
1 to 3 million, minimum 5%. And I'd say, like I said, Dave's probably right, up to 10%.
Yeah, that seems all right to me. I think the one thing I'll caveat that is it's so just because you spend, we'll say average 7% on marketing does not mean you're going to get good ROI on that marketing. What the
Right.
marketing is important. And also, shout out to Brad Akers. He talks about this a lot is like you need to be able to turn every lead that you're getting in from a paid source into at least one additional unpaid job. If you can turn every job into one additional job at least, then you have a model where the paid is just sort of feeding it, and then it can spread out more organically. So things like knocking around your job sites, the mailers, the like referral programs that he talks a lot about that stuff. He has some other strategies as well, but that's absolutely essential. So not just relying entirely just on the leads from the paid sources, but then also turn that into more.
A ton of our marketing goes, I would say 60% of our marketing budget goes to brand awareness only. Like we don't track, we don't care. We know we get some leads from the radio, from the TV, from the billboards, but none of it's really trackable. So they're not true lead sources. They're literally just brand awareness campaigns. But we're strategic about where we have those things and kind of how we use them. Uh, but yeah, no, you can't expect, just because you're spending all that money doesn't mean you're going to get all those leads.